We are discussing chapter number 1, the story of village Palampur. Coming to the labor, because we require labor, whether it is agriculture, farming or any industry. Here in Palampur, some farmers, they work on their own land, but some of them work on another land. For that, they receive wage. They may receive daily wages, or they may be, you can say, hired for a season. So wages can be cash, it may be money, or it can be kind also. Kind means giving wheat or something. Wages vary from region to region, also from crop to crop, and also from one farming activity to another in Palampur. So here you see in picture, in Palampur, there is a work going on in the field. So wheat crop, there is plowing going on by bullocks, and sowing is going on, sowing, spraying of, this is spraying, this is sowing, spraying of insecticide, and this is the cultivation by the traditional methods, previous trivial methods, and this is the modern way of the cultivation, that is finally the cutting off or harvesting of the crop. Then let me tell you about the distribution of cultivated area and farmers, and this is not about Palampur, this is about Indian region. So this agriculture statistics at glance 2006, because it has changed by now, we are way ahead from 2006, but you'll get an idea. The idea is that this is the cultivated land, and small farmers, 36% of small farmers have this one. And if you see here, 80% of the farmers, number of farmers, they are here medium. Small farmers are here. 80% of, like in 100, 80 people are, that is number of farmers, in 100, 80 are small farmers. That is, they have less than 2 hectares. When you talk about cultivated land, then most of the land, around 64%, belongs to medium and large farmers, and only 20% farmers belong to this medium and large farmers. So the farmers, there are 2 categories we discussed, that is the rich farmer, they have more land and they work less, means they don't work in there, they just hire people. And those farmers which are small farmers, they may work on their land, they don't hire normally. So here there is a conversation between 2 Palampur residents, that it is, this guy is saying it is difficult to find work, and the large farmer will hire us, and that too for only that limited number of days when the sowing and cropping, harvesting is going on. Now the women is saying, Ghanshyam, the large farmer has bought a harvester, so he is hopeful that she is going to get some work. But now because the harvester is there, she'll get less work, right? Last year, she just worked for less than 5 months in whole year. Now the guy is saying that we have tractors for plowing, harvester and harvesting, threshers for threshing, and even for removing weeds, some farmers spray weedicide. So all of the things are, been done by machines. And he is saying that I owe local money lender Sahukar 2,000 rupees. I have taken 1,000 last summer when there was no work. So how I'm going to repay, because we don't have work now. So the woman is saying this year I will have to look for work in brick making, and I have to go to Raiganj, because her situation is not that good also. Due to the debt she has taken from money lenders, now money lenders don't pay her, they refuse to pay her. So this is the scenario of the people which is happening when the equipments are coming and these laborers are not getting work. So let me tell you about the wages first. See, the Dala, there is a name called Dala. He is, or you can say she is, because it is not being said whether she is or he is. Now, Dala is a landless labor, farm labor, and who works on daily wages in Palampur. And Dala has to look regularly for the work. The minimum wages for a farm labor in year 2011 April, it is being fixed by government as 115 rupees, that anyone who is going to work for whole day, that is 8 hours, he or she has to be paid 115 rupees. But Dala is getting only 80 rupees. Why Dala is getting only 80 rupees? Because of the competition. See, these two both are there to work. They won't work. So when there are so many people to work, they may not work for 115. The person who is hiring them, the person will say, okay, I'll give you say 90 bucks or 80 bucks or 70 bucks even. People are ready to work for this because of the increased competition between the laborers, right? So this is the situation there. In the farming, these various things we talked about, land, labor, etc. Now the capital. Now capital is required. How do we get the capital? So huge capital is required in the method of modern farming, as we saw. Small farmers, they have lack of capital. They don't have capital. They borrow money from large farmers either, or they take the money from the money lenders. But the rates are quite high. It's exorbitant. There are three types of capital which are mostly used in any organization. As we just saw, working capital, fixed capital, and human capital. So as we saw, most small farmers, they have to borrow money, because whenever they want to cultivate something, they have to have some inputs. For that inputs, they have to take loans, and these loans, if they take from money lenders, they charge a high amount of interest. But the medium and large farmers, they might have some savings, so they don't take money from these money lenders, etc. I'll tell you a story. The story is about Sumita. Sumita is a small farmer. Now she has just 1 hectare of land, that is only 100 meter by 100 meter. And for this, she wants to grow wheat. She would need fertilizer, she would need pesticide, she will need some cash to buy water and repair her instruments. Instruments also required. Minimum she would require 3,000 rupees, but she doesn't have money. She would buy it or take it from Tejpal Singh. Now Tejpal Singh is a large farmer, and Tejpal says, okay, I'll give you the money, but I'll take 24% for 4 months. So if she would have taken 100 rupees from Tejpal, she would have to give him back 124 rupees in 4 months. And this is a very exorbitant, very high amount. Apart from this, Savita gave the promise, Tejpal took the promise that she has to work in Tejpal's land as a farmer or farm labor for 35 rupees. This is 35 rupees per day. The minimum wage into 2011 fixed as 115, and she has to work for 35 rupees. But because of all the situation she is facing, she has to work here. She has to work here. So you can see because she is the mother of 3 children. She has the household responsibilities also. Because of these tough conditions, she has to work here, and she has to take the loan also. Now, selling of, or you can say sale of farm products. So whenever there is a land and something is produced, say some 100, just I'm taking a unit, 100 amount is produced. So farmers generally, they take some amount that will feed their children and for them for whole year, and then rest of them they would sell. So selling of farm products, the surplus products, as I just said, 80 is the surplus products. These are sold to medium and large farmers by the small farmers. So small farmers, they sell it to the large farmers, and now the medium and large farmers, they also have a lot of surpluses. The small farmers, they don't produce that much. So I'll just don't discuss this. Why? Because the small farmers, they will not have that much that they can even have surplus food. They will have enough food to survive, that is only for their consumption. So they will just have the amount, that is the Savita we talked about. She'll have just limited amount so that she can consume and her kids can consume, or people in her house. But even if they have surplus products, they will have to give it to the medium and large farmers, and these medium and large farmers, they will have enough amount of surplus and they will supply it, their stuff also, to the market. And now the traders, that is the Vyapari, they will buy the product from these medium and large farmers, because the medium and large farmers, they are only providing, or you can say supplying, the actual content, actual grain, actual wheat to the market. The traders will take this product and now they will sell it to the market and the shopkeepers in the towns and cities. If you take example of Tejpal Singh, just an example, he is having 350 quintals of wheat as surplus. Now this is a very, very good amount. So he will be making, Tejpal Singh will be making a lot of money, and the extra money he has, he will use it for working capital as save, because he has saving, and for buying a tractor in the next season. Buying a tractor, Tejpal Singh I am talking about. So this Tejpal Singh, he is a large, or you can say he is a medium farmer, and he has surplus product. Now he can sell it to the traders, traders will sell it to the market. And some farmers, what they will do, they may buy cattle, truck, or they may even have shops. They can even establish a shop. Now coming to the non-farm activities in Palampur, as we have seen that 75% of the population, that is 175 persons, are involved in farming and agriculture activities. So 25 people, or you can say 25 in 100 or 25% of people, they are working in sector or activities which are other than agriculture. So the first one is dairy. Dairy is a major source of earning money in Palampur, and dairy is a type of business where harvesting or processing of animal milk are done mostly from cows and buffaloes. So this is what is done in Palampur. And the traders, if you talk about Palampur, the grass and jawar, bajra is being grown in the rainy season for these cattle, and the milk will be sold in the Raiganj. And there are certain farmers, or say there are certain traders who have set up the collection centers of milk and also the chilling center, cold center. They take the milk and now they will transport it to different towns and cities. There is small scale manufacturing in Palampur also, but it is not that much. So in Palampur, small scale manufacturing is done, not that much. Basically the work is carried out in home only, or say fields, with the help of family labor only. They will not hire labor from outside. So they will hire the labor rarely. They will work themselves. So this is the small scale scenario in Palampur. Coming to the shopkeeping or shopkeepers of Palampur. Shopkeeping is also a source of earning here in Palampur. So shopkeepers earn money by selling wide range of items like rice, wheat, sugar, tea, oil, biscuits, soap, toothpaste, batteries, candles, notebooks, pen, pencil, and even cloth. So here shopkeeper is an individual who runs the shop. Means individual only runs the shop. And then comes the transporting. Transporting, as we know that this is the third sector or tertiary sector activity. So it's a fast developing sector. And when we talk about the Palampur area, people and goods are ferried, means they are taken from one place to another. People also and goods also. They are ferried from one place to another through transporting service. For this service, the worker gets paid. In Palampur, road is the mode of transportation. So Kishore is a farm labor. There is a story being given. Kishore is a farm labor. Now, apart from the work he needs some money extra. And few years back, he took a loan from bank. So now, when he took loan from bank, the interest will be less. Okay, because the government is providing, because of a government program, he got a cheap loan. Because he was a poor landless household labor actually. Now he bought a buffalo with his money. Now he sells the buffalo milk. This is how dairy work is done, and he is transporting also. So he is transporting also, and that is how he is getting money. So this is the work which are going on in Palampur. So what we saw in Palampur, or any, you can relate this with any region or any area of the country. Farming is the main production activity in Palampur, and there are different changes which has happened. The same amount of land, the modern farming techniques, and also the multiple cropping. There are new ways of farming which includes the HYV weeds and pesticides and fertilizers. That is why the traditional way has changed. Now they are growing in the same area more number of grains and crops. Okay, and there are around 450 families. 1/3 is Dalit, that is not privileged type of people, and others also there is a distinction 250 and 60, and some have bigger land, some have less land, and this 150 people, they don't, or 150 you can say, the families, they don't have land even, right? And 75% of people, they are involved in agricultural activities. 25% are involved in the non-agricultural activities, and this non-agricultural activities, it includes the dairy, the shopkeeping, and transporting, small-scale manufacturing, etc. Because Palampur is well developed in terms of electricity, in terms of irrigation, etc. So the situation is quite good here. But if we see about the other villages in India, there still needs to be work needs to be done for them to be at par with Palampur. So this is all about this topic. Thank you so much and take care of yourself.